Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am Pearl and today I would like to share the book that introduced me to high fantasy, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. Let's just jump right into the video. Sarah J Maas is well known for writing fairy tale retellings, I believe, and I found this book through TikTok actually. It is very popular on the internet and people seem to have mixed opinions on it, especially the last book of the series. So, A Court of Thorns and Roses is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it is less of a fairy tale meant for children and more aimed towards teenagers. So the main protagonist of this book is Feyre. We come to know that she is a 19-year-old huntress who is providing for her family who lost their wealth a long time ago. Her father cannot support their family because he has an injury which he had gotten from attackers. And her sisters aren't particularly very helpful, although they are way older than her. From the age of 14, she has been supporting her family. She goes out into the forest to hunt for game. That is how they have been surviving through the cold, harsh winters. The story's plot begins when one day Feyre kills the wrong wolf. She kills the wolf, skins it, and sells the hide in the market. And she pays the ultimate price. A beast comes and captures Feyre and says that she broke an ancient law. She murdered a very important person in Prythian, which is the land of fairies. She gets entangled in a lot of things because of this. Upon arriving in the Spring Court, which is one of the 7 territories in Prythian, she realizes that the tales she's been told about fairies aren't all that true. She also starts loving Tamlin, who is the High Lord of the Spring Court. I really need to talk about the writing style. So, in this book, the writing is pretty different from what I am used to. I usually read books that are aimed at children, so it is pretty simple and the plot is also very simple. Well, I'll get more into the plot later on. Talking about the writing, I started loving this book immediately. Although the first few chapters will make you feel like you don't want to continue reading because there's not much fast-paced, intense writing in it. I found it to be really nice because I generally tend to stick to books that have slow-paced writing, and yeah, this was one of those books. But once the plot starts to build up, it is pretty nice to read it, especially the way Sarah J Maas writes in the thrilling parts of the book where there are fight scenes. I love the way she writes comedic scenes too. I tend to not really like comedy in books, though the main focus of the book is not comedy. I think it was the perfect amount of comedy sprinkled into it. Now let us jump into the characters. So by far my favorite character was obviously Feyre, and Feyre Archeron's sister, Nesta Archeron, was also one of my favorites. And later on in A Court of Mist and Fury, I start to like her character even more. But Feyre has to be my favorite character for sure. Oh, also, Rhysand is a really interesting character in my opinion. We think that he is bad, but if you have been on the internet and gotten it spoiled for yourself, you probably know that Rhysand and Feyre end up becoming a couple. So really seeing how he goes from being a ruthless ruler of the right court, seeing his progression from sort of evil to being sort of good, and the plot of this book was by far my favorite, honestly. If it was just character based, I think I would have definitely liked it anyways, but the focus of the book is mostly on the plot, and the character building definitely ties into making the book a splendid book for sure.